Kenya is a country named after Mount Kenya, a significant landmark and second among Africa's highest mountain peaks. Kenya has numerous wild reserves containing thousands of animal species. It has a land area of 580,000 square kilometers and a population of approximately 43 million residents, representing a diversity of people and cultures. Kenya lies across the equator on the east coast of Africa. It borders Ethiopia and South Sudan to the north, Uganda to the west, Tanzania to the south, and Somalia and the Indian Ocean to the east. Persons with disabilities represent a critical segment of Kenya's population. The Kenya government official statistics of the 2009 census indicate that Kenya has 1.3 million persons with disabilities, representing 3.5% of the total population. Persons with disabilities include those who have long-term physical, mental, intellectual or sensory impairments that create barriers which hinder full and effective participation in the social, economic, cultural or political activities on an equal basis with others in the society.
I was not born deaf, so that when I was sick, I was admitted in hospital and then I became deaf. So when they bought for me this hearing machine, it's a bit better because I can talk to my wife, my child, and my customer, and I can make my own money, and this is good for me.
In the year 2004, the Kenya government established the National Council for Persons with Disabilities following enactment of the Persons with Disabilities Act 2003 to champion the rights of persons with disabilities in Kenya. The Act also established the National Development Fund for Persons with Disabilities, which became fully operational in 2008.
Nilipoanza kufanya hii kazi, nilikuwa nikiuza paper bag. Nikajiunga na chama moja ambaye ni ya walemavu ambaye inajiita wheelchair basketball. Katika chama yetu nilipewa shilingi 5,000. Hizo pesa zimenisaidia kwa sababu nimeweza kujitunza na hata kuweza kulea watoto wangu.
After registering the group, we met with UDPK in Nairobi through the National Council. The first funding was 250,000. The maximum of the money which we have been given to our members is around 10 to 20,000 maximum.
The grants assist persons with disabilities to be self-sufficient in income generation and acquire skills and experience.
So I trained myself how to bake, and I was doing it in my house until I was funded by National Council through UDPK. I was able to move from my house to town, where is the center of my customers. I was able to employ bakers and sales ladies who will sell my products and satisfy my customer. But because of financial constraints, I'm not able to employ the many staffs I would want to employ.
Accessibility to bank loans and grants is made easy so as to help them improve their businesses or enterprises.
Nilipata ajali ya gari mwaka wa 1999. Maisha yangu ikawa ni gumu sababu nilikuwa nikifanya vibarua. Ndio nikaweza kupata loan kutoka kwa hicho kikundi. Nilipata 50,000, alafu nikaweza kununua pikipiki, ndio sasa nafanya kazi ya bodaboda. Hata naweza kuongezea zingine nikipata pesa, sababu naona zinanisaidia, na ningeweza kuambia hata wale wengine ambao ni walemavu, mtu akijaribu kutafuta vikundi, wajiunge na vikundi, kuna vile wanasaidiana. Alafu kuna vile serikali inasaidia watu kupitia kwa National Council.
Sikuwa na pesa za kutosha ya kuniwezesha kimaisha. Tangu tupate pesa kutoka kwa National Council, imenisaidia sana. Sasa kwa kikundi nilipewa loan ya 40,000. Hiyo loan yangu nilitumia kwa kununua hyacinth. Nikaanza kutengeneza vitu, nikaanza kutengeneza vikapu, nikishatengeneza nampatia rafiki yangu Karu mwenye anafanya airport, anaenda ananiuzia, ananiletea pesa tena, naenda na nunua tena hyacinth zingine. Maisha yangu imebadilika.
The loans can only be accessed by persons with disabilities or people who take care of persons with disabilities.
Niko na mtoto mlemavu na tunashukuru sana serikali kwa hiyo pesa walitusaidia hiyo loan, na pila nilifungua biashara imesaidia huyu mtoto hata kubalisha nguo, kutibu akikuwa mgonjwa, na tena kwa chakula nanunua chakula kabisa, nakula mzuri.
The Cash Transfer Fund to Persons with Severe Disabilities refers to those who need permanent care that includes feeding, toiletry, protection from danger, and support on full-time basis by a caregiver. This intensive support for persons with disabilities on a daily basis may deny their parents, guardians, or caregivers any time to engage in other income-generating activities, therefore worsening the economic status of such households.
Na wasaa kama wako wazuri, mtoto akifikisha 9 years anaanza kunini na mkuu mmoja. Mimi niko na watoto hao 4, 3 watembei, na mimi nimesaitika kwa pesa za watoto za kusoma. Mzazi ambao wako na watoto kwa nyumba asifiche watoto, mtu atoe watoto nje ndio waonekane.
The cash transfer program is coordinated by district gender and social development officers who identify eligible households. The cash benefit has also improved the household's social respect and creditworthiness, and thus improved participation in community affairs. The infrastructure and equipment grants given to eligible organizations such as educational institutions, special schools and special units, among others, are aimed at enabling and maintaining growth of organizations that provide education or social services for persons with disabilities. The grants come in the form of equipment, such as equipping classrooms with desks and chairs or ICT facilities to universities and colleges for students with visual impairment. The grants are only given to institutions that provide services specifically for persons with disabilities.
With the assistance of the National Council of Persons with Disabilities, we appreciate you coming in, that you supported us with funds to enable us build 3 classrooms. And we felt that we still had other needy areas, especially in the vocational training, because the classroom were for learning, and we needed for vocational training, we needed a workshop. Besides learning, they're also using the same for income generating, because we are teaching them skills, they have to be entrepreneurial.
The Education Assistance Program aims at improving persons with disabilities' enrollment, retention, and completion of the education cycle for engagement in decent and gainful employment.
I didn't have money to pay my fees, so I was informed of the National Council of Persons with Disabilities that they give funding for fees for disabled people. I went there, filled in a form, attached all the requirements needed, went to the Ministry of Gender. They also filled in the details required of them and took back the forms to the National Council of Persons with Disabilities. They accepted to support me by paying my fees. I made it an initiative that one day I will become a nurse so that I can give my deaf people good services and also to other normal hearing people in general. And I'm happy that I really passed. I got a nice grade and also happy I jumped for joy that I passed. You know, for a deaf person, and we were in a class where there were other hearing people, I was really happy. I rejoiced a lot.
The funds provided support persons with disabilities from secondary school level to university level.
I would like to thank the National Council for Persons with Disabilities for paying my school fees for 3 years now. Maybe one thing you should know is that I'm the first law student in the whole of East and Central Africa to do law, and a woman at that. And I want to do this because in future I want to fight for the rights of deaf people, especially in the area of information.
3 years ago, I woke up with blurry vision, and after visiting several hospitals, I was referred to Kenya Society for the Blind for rehabilitation. I was told about the National Council for Persons with Disability and that they have programs that they sponsor people with visual impairments. I visited them twice, and by the third, they offered to sponsor me, and they sponsored my education here at Kenya Society for the Blind. 4 months later, after I'd finished my education, I am very grateful because I can now use computer using a technology called JAWS, which is used by people with visual impairments.
Protein's a new plan for the meal with carbohydrates and vitamins. A balanced diet allows you to get all the vice the exercise fuel to live in this vital diet rest talk.
The education program supports more than 2,500 children who are in different levels of education, mostly in public schools, because we believe that learners with visual impairment integrated in normal schools with sighted students will enable them realize their full potential. In rehabilitation, we have orientation and mobility skills training, we have braille training, and we have a Center for Adaptive Technology, which trains both sighted and visual impairment students in the use of technology.
It also supports children with intellectual impairment, autism, and cerebral palsy from primary, since their transition to secondary school is usually low.
Mimi naitwa Neema Chepketer, nasoma shule Kaimosi Special School. Mimi nilikuwa nafuga sungura. Sasa sungura zilikufa, nilikuwa nalisha, nilikuwa nachunga, nisaidie mwanamke mwingine. Hapa sungura zilikuwa nalishanga, alafu huku ndani zilikuwa nalala. Mahali nyasi ziko huku ndani.
The National Development Fund for Persons with Disabilities also provides assistive devices and services to persons with disabilities in Kenya. This is to enable them function in the society without any difficulties. These funds give priority to those individuals who require assistance to function in the learning or work environment. The assistive devices and services are any product or service designed to enable greater independence of persons with disabilities. For instance, wheelchairs, crutches, hearing aids, calipers, surgical boots, prosthetic arms or legs, and sign language translators.
Nilipata ajali ya gari na nikakuwa mlemavu, nikakatwa mkono na nikakaa hivyo na challenges mingi. Watu walikuwa wananihepa, singeweza kuhakisha jiko ama kufanya kazi yangu ya nyumbani. Nikakuja kwa National Council na hapo wakaniahidi watanisaidia. Nikapata mkono artificial na inanisaidia kazi ya nyumba.
Before I was sick with the same problem of headache. Then it started abdominal discomfort.
The National Development Fund for Persons with Disabilities has an ongoing program of training sign language interpreters from among professionals in central service delivery sectors such as nurses, trainees from Kenya medical training colleges and social workers, especially those working in health-related programs. There is a new program targeting persons with albinism. The program recognizes the fact that despite the many challenges persons with albinism face, they too have a stake in the country's national development agenda.
I'm studying in Thika High School for the Blind. I have the sponsors from National Council ABC Center, but I thank the National Council for their support to me.
Through a series of targeted activities, it is expected that the issues of albinism will be brought to the fore to the persons with albinism themselves, stakeholders, and the greater public, thereby promoting their inclusion in their communities. Key amongst these activities is provision of sunscreen lotion to 2,500 individual persons with albinism on a monthly basis. This is to reduce their susceptibility to harmful sun rays, increase their lifespan, as well as enabling them to be optimally socio-economically engaged. Despite progressive universal trends, persons with disabilities in Kenya remain at the periphery of human endeavors. This is as a result of a combination of factors such as societal stigmatization, low self-esteem, and pity by persons with disabilities themselves.
Tulienda Nairobi kuomba msaada kutoka National Council for Persons with Disabilities, tukapewa 360,000. Sasa tukakuja fanya hii project ya kwanza ya posho mill. Alafu ingine ya pili ni buying and tea selling kwa factory ya Kabianga tea factory. Haya ya tatu tena tumenunua plot na tunahitaji msaada tena tuchenge hiyo plot, alafu tununue diesel engine machine.
Disability mainstreaming and performance contracting in state-owned departments have played a key role in supporting the government of Kenya to effectively implement the convention at national level and in empowering persons with disabilities to become increasingly aware of their rights, therefore bringing about positive change in the lives of persons with disabilities across regions.
Niko na familia, niko na watoto wawili, na hakuna biashara nyingine except ni hii peke yake. National Council walitupatia fund, but hiyo sasa hiyo kidogo ambayo nilipata ikaweza kuniwezesha nipate shopping ya hii kazi yangu. Ninachilisha mwenyewe pia hata familia wote, na hiyo fund kabisa imenisaidia sana.
Tunasema disability is not inability. Unaweza fanya kazi yako, lakini ukifanya kazi ugane na National Council unaweza kusaidika.
I was awarded by UDPK. They discovered that I'm doing a very good job, and I think they chose me to be a woman of the year of 2011.
I would also like to encourage other young people who want to pursue their studies, even if they are deaf. We can. Just like Obama said, yes, we can. So I think the National Council has done a lot to assist us.